Hello there! Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Erica, and today I am working on a painting of a mermaid. Today is day number 27 of MerMay, and my prompt for today is Transcend. And if you watched yesterday's video, you'll remember that I used markers in the book, and I haven't done that yet. I've only used the watercolor in this book. And I noticed when I went to my new page today that the mermaid had bled through to the other side. So this paper obviously has some bleed through with alcohol-based markers. Luckily, I didn't use a lot of that marker. I didn't go, real heavy with it, so it didn't bleed through to the next page. But it did have a good amount of bleed through with just the little bit I used, and I feel like if I would have used maybe even a darker marker, or if I had went a little heavier with the coloring, that it very well could have bled through to the next page. So luckily it did not do that. That would have been kind of upsetting. I probably could have found a way to fix it, but I still don't like when that happens. And it's not real easy to just tear a page out of this book because it doesn't have that kind of tearing option. I guess you'd have to cut it out if you wanted to get rid of it. And then I think the page that was on the other side would probably be, not as sturdy and would possibly pull out later. But, luckily it didn't bleed through. But now I know that it's very possible that the markers could bleed through in this book. So I would definitely want to put something between each page if I was going to be using markers in this book. And in case you're new here, I did decide to do my own prompt list for MerMay. That way it would help me stay motivated and committed to finishing MerMay and completing it. So that did help. It has helped, really. And I also want to shout out two of the artists that I follow, Harriet at my Fanwania studio and also Tremor's art. They are following along with my prompt list for MerMay, and they are doing some really cool mermaids. So if you are here for the mermaids and you want to see some more mermaid art, I would definitely suggest checking out their pages, and their links will be down in the description part of this video. So for this piece, I was wanting to have a mermaid flipping her tail out of the water and having her tail turning into feet. And this was one of those pieces I was really nervous doing because really new to watercolor, and I've done water before and skies before, but never with watercolor. And I decided I wanted to go with a really tropical, like bright color sky with clouds in it, and then that nice, really kind of greenish blue water. And what I did for the clouds was I got the paper wet. I didn't get it too saturated. I just got it so that the paper was wet. And then I just laid some blue down where I thought the clouds would be like in a shape of. And it really worked out a lot better. I mean, I was hoping it would work, but I wasn't positive it was going to work. So I was very nervous when I started doing that. If it had been markers or something, I would have been much more comfortable, but it did turn out much better than I thought it would. And really the thing that took the longest with this piece was the drying time. It would have probably been a lot faster had I used markers, but I noticed definitely with watercolor there is a lot of letting things dry, because if you don't let things dry, the colors bleed together pretty easily. I mean, even if they're just kind of wet, they'll bleed into each other. So it's definitely got to be good and dry. So I did use the hair dryer quite a bit for this piece. I did have to go through and make sure every layer was dry before I went on to the next one. And it also felt weird actually drawing a set of legs today. I've been doing nothing but tails for the last 27 days, so it's like, oh, like I gotta draw feet. I went ahead and only did one hand since I had to draw 2 feet. Well, that's not really true. That's just how the design ended up being. And I had a hell of a time trying to get this design to look the way I wanted it to, especially that arm. That arm I felt like just didn't look right no matter what I did. And I mean, I kept flipping it around and back and forth and trying to see what it was that just didn't look right to me, but maybe it's just the pose, I don't know. But I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the way this one turned out. I mean, as far as like the way the colors turned out and everything, I liked I liked it. I thought I would have liked maybe to have gone a little bit more I guess made it brighter colored, I guess. I feel like it could have had more color, but I'm pretty happy with it. I am really getting used to the watercolor, really starting to be a little bit easier, or it's becoming a little bit easier to work with. And I used the metallic gold watercolor, and that's the moon gold. That's one's my favorite. I used that to kind of give a nice reflective look to the sand on the bottom underneath the water, and I liked the way that turned out. I thought that worked very well, but I also used the silver for her feet. Like, I wanted to have it look like water sprays were dripping off of her feet, or like, going through the air, but that didn't have the same effect. It did not come out exactly like I wanted it to. I do like it. I think I needed to maybe use a different color. Maybe silver wasn't the best color. But other than that, I was pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I think I'll probably do this one again afterwards. Something a little bit different, a lot more detail. I would like to have some little fishies in there and stuff. And that is one thing that's also beneficial to these little challenges, because I feel like I get a lot of ideas after I finished a piece because there's so many things I would have liked to have done different. So I think it helps with the creativity in that way too. So I want to thank everybody so much for watching today's video, and I want to give a big thanks to all of my subscribers. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you guys watching the videos. And sorry about not responding to comments, but I'm reading them all. I'm seeing you guys. I just wait until June gets here. All right. Love you guys. Bye.